זהו. הפסיק לצלם.
You start again?
כן, you see. Yeah, for sure. Actually, I had an idea to cut the videos to small pieces. And now we kind of finished the subject. So I don't have to cut it anymore.
Yeah, Rabbi Tversky does that.
Yeah, it's better than a long.
Sound bites.
It's better. So now it's connected with it, yeah.
That was a perfect soundbite.
It is. It was like pumped and then it stopped.
Right.
It's all good. Anyway, so let's see. So what's going on over here? Now I want to connect it also to tremendous problem. It's looked at as a problem from the world point of view, from lemata lemala, from the world point of view. But it's actually, if you look at it from above, from Hashem point of view, it's actually it has a purpose. Anyway, there is in Hebrew it's called pizur hanefesh. Pizur hanefesh. How do you say it in English? Pizur hanefesh means that a person is all over. He's scattered.
All over the place.
And it's really rooted, it all starts with having a lot of wills. Like, I want that. And then you start to go in that direction. Oh, but I'm losing there. But I want that too. And then you start, okay, so I can't do anything. So maybe I'll do that. And then basically we want a lot of things, we don't do anything, and we're very frustrated because we're not getting anywhere. Okay? So that's basically what's, where can you see it live? You open an internet browser. And then you have a lot of tabs. And then you open another browser because there's so many tabs, so you open a new browser because you want to start again. And then you have basically a lot of browsers with a lot of tabs. And then the computer crashes and you say, Baruch Hashem, because I couldn't do it on my own. Right? So then you start all over again, basically. And you can't close the tabs because maybe I need it. Because maybe I want to continue in that direction, but I have another direction, and then I have to do all other things outside of the computer, and then you start again on the computer. Everybody are familiar with it, I guess. Anyway, everything that happens in the world, again, is from the Torah, and it had a root, and this thing itself is a good root. It's just that we don't get to the good root. Meaning, if a person would be focused as much as we like to, okay, that we're talking about it. We're talking about always, we say we want to be focused and we want to be concentrated and so on and so on. That's what we hope. And that's why we act the way we act. We open those tabs in the internet because we think that, hey, yeah, we're getting somewhere. And then we, like stream of water into the ocean, Then we let go and let's just be the ocean, If we could have been focused and know what you want, then it would be amazing to be able to open many tabs quickly, let's say, and go and flow. The problem is that we lose our focus. We become so spread and scattered, and we don't remember how we got here. And then we start all over again. And we feel very focused. And then we lose it. Okay? So that's basically how do you move from general to details. When you speak generally, it's much more understood. Usually you're going to be more focused. You're going to feel more focused. Okay? You're going to feel more focused. Because, and you're not letting details to get in the way. You want to see the picture. And also you have the day, and you're afraid of losing your focus. And then you come to the details. And then so many details and losing focus. So I wish, we hope to stay focused, to be focused, also to become, not being focused like crazy, don't bother me. We want to be like, good life, but being focused. And in the details, that's what we're looking for. That's what we would hope to have, right? If a person would be calm and focused, then it's actually an advantage to, to do many, many things. Okay, and everything is connected. Everything is connected, and everything is adding when you're focused. When you know what you want, you can have, can speak on the phone with this guy, and then the other guy another phone, and then you continue. There are people like that. But for the most part, it's even if someone is good in a certain area of his life, that is acting that way in that area of his life, but maybe he's not connected to other areas of his life. Okay, so to be really having the big picture all the time, as you are working in the details, with the details, because you can't, you have to have the details. Otherwise, you're not getting, what is focus if you're not working in details? It's a joke. If someone says, I'm focused, what do you focus? You're afraid to do anything for that purpose that you want to accomplish because you're afraid to lose focus. So you're not doing anything. That is the worst in a way. But, it's all bad. but that's also not an option, let's say. Okay? So let's so this is a subject that is discussed, and in Hasidus the Rebbe talks about it, and there's Mara Mekoimes, and there's a lot of amazing insights and understandings about these things and how it's supposed to be done. The Rebbe sent to a certain mimer of the Mitteler Rebbe in the book that's called Sha'arei Tshuva. One of the last Maimorim over there, page Kuftet Vav. And there I found partially the answers. I found the answer, the Rebbe sent there. So the answer is there, but what is the question? The question is, what is going on over here? Like, why does it happen to us? Why does it happen to us? What is going wrong? Something is going wrong. What is wrong? That's the question. What is going on over here? When we all want good, but it seems like we having a problem to connect Chokhmah and Bina, meaning the general and the details. It's either we're here or there. It's very radical. It's Tohu, it's not Tikkun. In Tikkun, it's all connected, it's all good. Everything Hashem created is good. But there has to be cooperation, has to be combined. You can't be only in the general, it can't be only in the details. It has to be unity, the unity of Chokhmah and Bina, the unity of, of general and details. So what's the problem? What's wrong? What is the problem? And also, the Rebbe himself, the Mitteler Rebbe, you have to know, the Mitteler Rebbe is a type of a person, a type of a Rebbe, that he is good, his major is to explain everything in length and width. So he's good in analyzing the problem, if there is a problem, if you call it a problem, or whatever it is. Analyzing the subject. The Rebbe, on the other hand, is a type of a person that is very practical. It's very short. So the Rebbe would give you an answer, a practical way to how we're supposed to do. Poshut. And then, if you want to understand more, he will write you a little note, a footnote. If you want to understand more, go to the Mitteler Rebbe, because he already done it. I'm not going to do what he already done. He already done it. That's how the Rebbe works. The Rebbe is very practical. Every word of the Rebbe is very accurate. And it's very aimed to practicality. Okay? It's all just down to earth. Everything in the Rebbe is down to earth. But on the other hand, the Rebbe connects his practicality and down to earth, connects it to the sources. Everybody has in every sikha a lot of sources. Because in those sources, this Inyan is analyzed and explained in much length. Especially the Mitteler Rebbe. The Mitteler Rebbe has to do with length. With Bina. The Mitteler Rebbe is Bina. And the root of everything the Mitteler Rebbe is talking about is in the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe is Chokhmah, is revealing the information in a new way. Like he brought new points to the world. Poshut, the Hasidus, he's the founder of Hasidus Chabad. But anyway, so let's see. So what is wrong over here? So the Mittel Rebbe explains that there are two levels of general. There are two levels of will. One is what we usually use. We call I want that. And that is where we fall. Because when you say I want that, you're being specific of what you want. Then, a second later, you want that as well. And then there is the accident. There is the problem. That is where you get spread. Because by saying you want something specific, okay, you're basically making a choice, so to speak, and you're losing on something else. If I choose that, if I go to the right, I'm losing the left. I'm not going to the left. If I go too much into the right, I'm now farther and farther and farther from the left. And that's the problem, because we always have right and left. If you become too righty, you have a problem. If you go too lefty, you have a problem. So the choice and the will is not between right and left. And that brings us to a deeper will, a higher will. The will that is not a choice. It's not a choice between left and right. It's the will, the only will, that goes along with you in everything. That you're never losing. And you can't lose it, and you shouldn't lose it. Okay? And you can even do it in being calm. You don't even have to be focused like and crazy and going wild, because that is the will. There is one will. There is one will. And from that will branches out all of the other wills, basically. The sub-wills. Those are sub-wills. In Kabbalah we say, Rai v'dekol raivin. The rotzen of all the rotzen of all the retzonot. The will of all wills. That are all wills are coming out of. And that's what we need to be exposed to and need to be in touch with. All the time. All the time. With that will. Now, people are saying, yeah, you want that, but what do I really want? Like, people are trying to always get deeper with that, you know. And as you go up and you become older and you have some more experience, you realize that, no, I can't go on like that, because, you know, I need to know what I really want. Right? That's the way we are with ourselves, but it's not enough also. Because we're coming from below. So we're scratching a deeper surface, relatively, but that's not the will. Okay? So you become more general in what you want. You become more, okay, so every time you say I want something, it includes more. So it gives you more time to feel that you're focused. But you're not really generalized everything. So therefore, it's still a fight between one general and another general, which is not the ultimate generality. It's not the ultimate general. So it's still a fight. Okay? For example, spirituality, physicality. It should not be a choice between spiritual and physical. We should not make a choice between spiritual and physical. It doesn't work like that. Because if someone is going to choose spiritual, let's say, the physical will hit him in the face. But the same way the opposite. If someone will choose physical, let's say, over spiritual, it will hit him in the face. So it's not a choice to make. Say, I want, or I am a spiritual person, I am a physical person, I want spirituality more than physicality. That's not a place to make a choice. You shouldn't use the word I want in those things. There is one will, period. The will of all wills. It's also in Kabbalah, it's called Ak, Adam Kadmon, it's, or the ancient thought. Basically the way it works, and here I want to bring in a concept. It's, we have to know, in yesterday's Yom Yom also, it's revolutionary. You have to listen to this. Everything else but the Torah is working from below to above. is scratching the surface. You can become smarter and smarter and smarter, so now you know better. That's nice. But better can always be better and better and better. But that's not satisfying. Torah is above to below, meaning Torah says, what are you fighting about? What are you worrying about? There is Hashem. And that's the beginning. And now, from Hashem, you start to build. And as far as you can get, you'll get. You do more, you get farther. You do less, you get not that far, but you still. Okay, so if someone does not acknowledge Hashem, let's say, so he's like a cat. You throw the cat from 8th floor. It's like, so a person is, that's how they feel. And those that still, I don't know if there is still people like still creatures like that feels that the world was created in a big bang. Okay, I don't know if there's people still. I heard that no one at all think like that. Like, someone would be. It's a weird bird today. Someone that says those words. I haven't heard it for a long time already, so I believe it's gone already. But those that happen to feel this way, I guess it's B'ashgacha Pratit. Hashem had them to feel this way for some reason, and one day He's gonna take them out of this darkness. But they feel that they came out of a big bang, and somehow they landed here. So now they have to adjust. So they start to build up, They start to let's see, So they start to find their way in life and survive, let's say. But us, those that that know, there is Hashem, and Hashem had a thought. Hashem had a will, like the same as a person. There's a person, then a person thinks about something. He has a will. So I would like to do that. The machshava verotzen. That's the Chassidus a lot. You can see it. Machshava verotzen. He has a thought and a will. Okay. Think about a king. King. Why I'm saying king? Because a king is someone that supposedly is lofty, meaning is not suppressed, is not stressed. So I would like that to be. They say the best jobs are the best jobs in a certain way. It's the governmental job, because if they decide, let's say, I want a road from here to there, how much money it needs? Billion. Okay, so give $1.5 billion. So those that work, they do more, they do less. Benefits, a lot of benefits. Sometimes they sit, sometimes they work. Because why? Because more employees. You need more employees? Okay, we'll send you more employees, more staff, whatever, There's no cheshbon, there is a cheshbon, but I'm saying they're less cheap. Not like a little business, that is always trying to. So the king comes and says, I want that. That's what I want. I want a road from here to America. That's what I want. That's it. How it's going to be done? It's not even his job to think about it. So there are people to think how it can be done. He knows what he wants. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want a bridge from Israel to America. That's it. To San Francisco. That's it. He has this, I have a dream. That's what I want. Okay? So Hashem has that. Hashem, and in each one of us we have that, because it's imprint in us. It's implant. It's Hashem's will. That Hashem wants. That's the general will. The general will, then there is a whole what we call seder ishtalshelut, the chain of, for example, I guess, and then, okay, so he tells it in the king, he tells it to his, servant, let's say, someone, the secretary, let's say, and that's it. From the king, is finished. Now the secretary is working. He's going to the, who's the best in the country, This guy, he's a good architect, Says, okay, call him. The king is calling him. Call him in. That's the thing. Oh, it's impossible to do it. Go. It's going to be done, with you or without you. You want to be involved or not? Okay, so fine. Okay, I'll be in the team, but okay, but I need my friend over there. Bring him too. He's gonna get a good salary too. You know, no problem. That's what the king wants. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, the king doesn't know anything about how to do it. He doesn't know. Never touched material even. That's out of the question. It's not relevant. The king wants, and that's what's gonna happen. So that's the general will. And then, basically, each one of those people that they're going to hire, secretary is going to hire, let's say, so he's going to have his own detailed, which is relatively still general for himself, but it's a detail to the big will. It's a detail to the big will. Because the architect, he needs to do the architecture, which is a lot of work, and he needs a lot of people under him, let's say, to work with. And for him, architecture is a lot. I mean, what he has to do is already a lot. It's enough for him, let's say. I mean, and if it's too much, it's going to take more people. But even architecture, it's not the end of it. It's just part of it. Somewhere in between, the king will to the end of the job. Somewhere in between you have the architecture. So in a way it's a general, but it's not the ultimate general. It's just, and then you have the contractors, you have many types of contractors, you have people thinking, you have people doing, you have people evaluating, you have many things. Okay, you have people, you have staff, you have tools, you have bridge from here to San Francisco, think about it. And even more, the whole world with here and San Francisco, and the ability to build a bridge between here and San Francisco, right? So we're talking big. We'll get more practical, We'll get more practical, meaning we get from the Rebbe, we'll get from the Rebbe things soon. But right now, we're still explaining the Mittel Rebbe, basically. Right now, we're explaining something from the Mittel Rebbe. He explained it. So basically, our job is always not to lose, to be in touch with that general will. How it's done, the Pearl Mamash, it's very simple. You are not looking for answers. We're looking for questions. Only ask the questions. For example, that's why in Chassidus we learn it's the art of asking questions. Meaning, you always ask yourself, these are questions that you always ask. What am I doing here? What is the will in the creation? How did it come to be, this creation? You're talking about the biggest questions. The absolutely biggest question. You have to ask those questions all the time. These are the questions that will keep you motivated and inspired. Even after 1,000 years of life. In the details. You have to ask those questions. Don't look for answers. Look for questions. Because answers, there are many. But the answers will take you out of it. You have to be inspired. You have to be in touch. There is a larger will. There is a will. Okay? You have to go big. You have to ask the biggest questions in order to stay inspired. You have to be in touch with the absolutely most general will. And if you copy-paste it to marriage or to education, the same thing. The first meeting, why am I even married? You have to ask those questions. Meaning that it's going to remind you why you're married. That the question is going to invite the answer. Okay? You have to be in touch with the most general will. I looked at you, so okay? You have to be in touch with the most general will. You're not, okay? That's generally what we're saying. So don't say, I want that. Don't be in touch with specifics. Don't look for specific answers because there are many answers. There are many things that are in order to accomplish the ultimate will. There are many things, and each one of them will distract you, because once you're already saying, I'll give an example. For example, usually when someone wants to, let's say, we have to do this and that, like this is something big, we must do that. What happens is, let's say I'm saying, I want to build a building. I want to build a building. Everybody knows that building a building everywhere else for sure, but especially in Israel. It's, whoa. You can build a room, it's going to take you 12 years. And you feel that you accomplish something in your life. You look what you accomplished, you realize that it's you didn't even start. But that's how it is to build in Israel. But anyway, B'ezrat Hashem, it's going to be easier. B'ezrat Hashem. I'm telling you straight out, the government needs to make an announcement all over the news, the media, that every Jew is allowed to take a certain. They're divided to take a big spot, a certain spot, and they should announce the borders, which is from Iraq and Lebanon, and then the Jews just let them do it. They'll do it. Don't worry. Then we're gonna help each other. We're gonna fight Arabs. No problem. Everybody are out. No problem. Every Jew is gonna say, "This is where I want to be," and everybody are just gonna, All that it needs is that you give the Jew the freedom and you allow him to be determined. You look in left and right, no one bothers. People will help each other, no problem. We don't need nothing. We don't need the army that supposedly protects the Arabs from us, basically. But sorry, that's the way it is right now. Anyway, but that's regarding to building. But anyway, let's go back to the subject. So we come to build a building, and then we say, usually it comes like, a general will. I have a general will. I have a picture in my mind. Usually, when it comes at first, it's perfect, no problem. The problem is usually second later. So how much money do we need? Oh, let's forget it. So I don't know, how many people should I employ, or who should I talk to? Talk to him. Yeah, but you're talking to him only for the wires of the electricity. But for the cover of the wires, you have to talk to another contractor. But only that type of covers, because that other type you have to do the deck. You know what? Just leave me alone. I'll live in a tent. Anyway, so the problem is what is the enemy of the inspiration over here? That we go in, we lose the general will. You have to be. What do I want? Why do I want? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You have to ask the big questions. As big as it could ask is better. Even though it sounds like it's not practical, but that is what gonna get you through the details with simcha, because simcha is when you in touch with your general will. That's simcha. That's it. If you lose your general will, you get lost in details, you become confused, you become sad. Why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. That's it. Because every detail is really a branch of the general. Like every time, if you're in touch with the general, so every detail you do, you're going to feel better, because you're just accomplishing more and more and more and more to the general. There's nothing like that. There's no joy in the world. We spoke about it last class, 2 weeks ago. There's no joy like that when you accomplish, when you manifesting. It's all about that. It's dira b'sachtoinim. The whole purpose of creation is to build a dwelling place in the lower world. There's no joy like that. But only if you're in touch with the general will. If you lose the touch, that's it. What am I doing this for? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how I got here, and so on. You have to know what you're doing here. You have to ask those big questions. Big questions. Why did the soul has to come down? Why the world? What kind of a business is that? Like Hashem has this.